All right, so like I told y'all before, I'm going to just give you guys examples because I hear a lot of mouth a lot of times when I happen to bring up this type of stuff as if I'm talking about some what ifs and all this other type of stuff, and people always want proof. So here you have some proof, right? This is a black woman, right? On Twitter. She decided to state this about black men, right? Doesn't matter. We don't need or want to date y'all. Y'all are literally the weakest link. And then his response was later gone because Twitter, I guess suspended his account, but yet her stuff is still up here, right? So she then replied later on to him. She said, "Wow, sure thing, bullet bag," right? Referring to the black man. And then lastly, she responded, "I'm not patronizing you, not my people. I don't care for black men," letting you know who she's responding to. "Y'all don't do ish for our community, but make up excuses and harm everyone that isn't you. Get off of here." Now, like I said before, I can't clearly see his responses to anything, but obviously she was talking reckless. She was obviously putting up her preference, and talking all types of wildness, right? So then when the black man whose account was suspended responded back to her, she decided to call him what? A bullet bag. Let that sink in for a minute. That's a black woman that is stating that to a black man. Now, of course, we can't see any of the things that he listed, right? So there can be some, I guess, room for some hearsay. Oh, but we don't know what he said. What did he say to sit up there and make her go off? Maybe he said something disrespectful, so she had to sit up there and say something in return. Now, if you think about what it is that you're saying and that you're allowing, right, since you want to go down this road, let me just let you know this. If a black woman decides to state this in general, right, and says this to a black man, what does that then say about your sons? What does that say about your father? What does that say about your boyfriend? What does that say about your husband? Right? What does that say about your grandson? Right? What does that say about your nephew, your best friend, your coworkers, so on and so on and so on? Like I said before, people don't understand, how far reaching a lot of words are up until, right, it actually affects them up until it hits that doorstep. Right. So, like I said before, this is what I'm talking about. And I'm giving a clear cut example of a black woman stating this. And she lets you know that she was stating this in response to a black man that she was clearly having a conversation with on Twitter.
Here comes a new challenger!
So, in response to what it is that you were able to hear, you have a woman who is not even black. This is a Hispanic woman. And she stated this. She said, "What does my race slash ethnicity have to do with pointing out that you get on here calling black men bullet bags and wanting to ride white? You know what? And I called you and your team of white meat musketeers hypocrites. At this point, you're embarrassing yourself, and that has nothing to do with me, my love." Just to clarify, I do not support even Hispanic men dating slash marrying white women, but I'm definitely not on here stating that Mexican men should be deported or are the weakest links or deserve to be prejudiced, and that is my point.
He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that.
He got cooked. He got cooked.
And then, as you can clearly see, a woman from another ethnicity came in and cooked this black woman for the things that she decided to state, right? And she went on to the point of stating that she would not even say that about the men of her culture, right? And that's one of the main things that black men have always sat up there and stated, right? That you have a lot of black women out here who are doing the utmost negative talking, who are doing the utmost detrimental talking points and putting this directly out there for the whole world to see. But when you look at every other ethnicity of women on this planet, you do not see them on social media doing these exact same things. But yet, But yet, let me just take a step back and showcase to you some of the ignorance of the other individuals that decide to follow the same ideology and that want to take up defense for this woman. To further solidify what I'm saying here, this is just one comment. This is just one comment that was directly up there, right? And then her best friend, decided to tag in there and basically corroborate, right, what it is that she stated, right? Came to an agreement that, yeah, you are 100% correct. You're talking about because, uh, such and such and such and such from experience, such and such and such and such. Like I said, I'm not going to be reading through that because I ain't about that life. Just saying.
Another one.
Hold on, let me just pull back real quick. The most interesting thing about this that it just dawned on me before I decided to go to the next part is that black women don't talk about these guys, happening to date other, right? Why wouldn't you, tell these guys to basically, stay with their own guys, right? Why would you allow them to, in a sense, associate themselves with a conversation that you are having or whatnot or whatever? Why doesn't that get put into those parameters of black men who decide to date up? Oh, I forgot. That's your best friend. So you don't care, right, what your best friend does, right? You're only going to try to spin this narrative to the guys, I guess you feel are desirable in a sense, but yet you don't really desire them because you desire other people. So within that, you really shouldn't care. Whatever. Next, we have just a few, just a clip of some of the women, right, that decided to defend her, right? One person stated, "All I'ma say to you is, I hope you defend black women like this when they get dragged by black men for simply being black. Them self-hating Negroes attack black women all day for no reason, but I only see people complaining when a black woman gets fed up and starts giving them the same toxic energy." Next person, "It has everything to do with it. You don't live her experience, so you don't know what she's retaliating to in the first place. Like she said, stay out of black people's business. Getting blocked out by black men doesn't give you a place in the conversation. Idiot." And lastly, "What did the tweet have to do with what she said about you not being black though? Also, did you say anything to the men she had been responding to, calling her dark-skinned black woman cockroaches, being grossly fatphobic, or harassing her first? Or you just came for the black girl?" Now, the main thing I want y'all to realize is that you have a woman from a whole nother ethnicity, right, that has really no reason to try to even defend black men. She even went to the furthest extent of basically stating that she herself doesn't even agree, right, with the whole interracial thing. But she's not going to get on here, even though she disagrees with it. She's not going to get on here and start negatively speaking and talking down about the men of her community. She even used herself as an example. But what happened? The black women there, they got offended. They were like, "Oh, this isn't even, this has nothing to do with you. You're not even a part of the culture. What are you doing in black people's conversations? Yada, yada, yada." Like I said before, she corrected them. A woman of another culture had to come in, use layman's terms, and then use herself as an example to further push the main point of like, yo, what you're doing is trash. What you're doing is wrong. Why are you sitting up there doing it? You don't see women of other cultures sitting up here doing it. So why are you doing it? And then they wanted to jump on her. They wanted to get mad. They wanted to have all of this back and forth instead of actually sitting down and looking at the actions that they are deciding to commit to on a worldwide platform, allowing everybody to see, including, right, their quote unquote preferences, right? So like I said, I'll leave the preference part exactly where it is on the ground. But then I've also showcased videos, right, of white men doing the exact same thing, saying that what black women are doing online, talking negatively about black men On top of the fact, trying to use the quote unquote preference of men that they like in order to further down talk about black men and thinking that it's all right and cool. You even have your own preference coming out and telling like, yo, this is crazy what you're doing. But like I said before, this is where we are at this current moment in time. You have a lot of black women out here who don't want to listen. So you literally have individuals telling them like, yo, you need to straighten this up. You need to fix it. This is not a good look. Like, yo, this you're going down a pretty dark road right now. But like I said before, there's nobody out here that can sit up there and tell black women to stop doing what it is that they're doing. I've even showcased to you black women who are on right there square, who are doing the utmost out here, who are businesswomen. They got the family, they got all of that. Like everything is pretty much good. And these women are looking at it like, yo, I love you as a sister, and I love you enough to tell you, like, yo, what you're doing is wrong. You need to straighten up. You need to sit up there and fix how everything is working right now. This is not good. And even when you have one of those women who are taking the time out of their busy lives and whatever it is that they're doing and how it is that they're making money to come shine a little bit of knowledge on the sister, they want to sit up there and be combative against her. They want to talk negative about her. They want to be try to call her envious and jealous and all this other type of, like I said before, yo, I don't know what else to sit up there and tell y'all. I really don't. If y'all really feel like y'all out here on your own, it's because that's the energy that you put out. That's what you keep telling yourself. So whatever you tell yourself is going to start to become true. If you really told yourself at the end of the day, like, yo, I'm a loving person, I'm a caring person, I love myself, I value myself, I determine my own outcome, I'm in control of my future. If you told yourself more positive stuff than listing negative stuff in general, the universe would respond accordingly. But because you sit up there and tell the universe trash, you know what the universe is going to do? It's going to give you back trash. Better yet, it's going to give you a whole landfill, because that's what you are requiring at this moment in time because of the type of mouth and energy that you're giving off.